The week's over, cold's almost done. Let's make a video on the PGA show. Welcome back to my golf shop. Jim McClear here, and this is where we talk about golf club reviews, repairs, and fittings, also your scores can go low. Today's topic is going to be the PGA show. All right, you've seen, if you've been on YouTube, there's not truly been overwhelmingly covered, and I don't know why. However, in the day of the PGA show, that was the premier show that you wanted to go to if you were in the golf industry. Now, I don't mean these types where you have like we have the Columbus Golf Show. And it's very large to be sure. However, it is not for people that are in the industry. It is for people that are looking for bargains. Bargains on golf clubs, golf balls, golf shoes, you name it. That's where you would go. And, you know, place to hang out, have a little fun, try and hit a ball real far, some skills prizes, that kind of stuff. But not for somebody in the golf industry. Like somebody owns a golf shop, somebody does fittings or repairs or teaching or any of the other stuff. The PGA Golf Show is for that, where we're virtually the customers. So I've gone 20 times so far. Didn't go last year, mostly because it just didn't look like it was going to be a lot of fun. This year, I convinced myself it's time to go back. Let's go see what's going on. And I'm glad I did. All right, it was very well attended, and we'll talk about that towards the end. However, just to get right into it, the show is broken down into 4 days. One is the demo day, and then day 1, 2, and 3 of the show. So what I'm not going to show you every ounce of what we're going to go into, since it's already a week gone by, but I'm going to try and give you pictures and some videos and stuff like that, and make this straight through so that we can show you what we saw. So let's go get started. One of the first places we got into was Speed Stick. Now, Speed Stick's been around, and I want them to tell me all about their product all over again. And it was kind of interesting. Let's take a look.
You've seen guys really come up good with stuff like this. Is this for like adults or kids or both?
We believe that you can do it at all ages as long as you're healthy enough. But when we're talking when to start, we want to start training speed as soon as possible. Because speed is a skill that can be developed. And we use the classic example. Let's say you want a kid that wants to play golf at a high level, right? If you get to 16 years old, you're hitting the ball 240, you're toast. You're never going to make it.
Really?
Because kids in college are hitting it, 16-year-olds now are hitting it 280, 290, 300, 310. If you're spotting them 60, 70 yards because at 8, 9, 10, 11 years old, your mom wanted you to have a perfect looking golf swing and you didn't want to train speed, you're toast.
Now after that, we go around and we're just seeing what is going on. And what we're going to show you is a bunch of pictures of the day that we were there. I will tell you this, it was rainy, it was windy, and it was awful. Anybody that says they're going to hit a golf ball in this and show you how good a golf club is an absolute fool. All right, so we didn't even, all I did was putt. I found that they were doing the chipping area, which I really would have loved to try. But it was all wet and soggy, so it was just about going and finding some folks that maybe I knew. Let's go see that. So as you can see, the golf club manufacturers really were not very well represented. One or two, the rest of them, they were not there, right? They just weren't there. Now, this is Jim's opinion that when they don't show up, that is an opportunity as a smaller club person or a new and up and coming, company. This is the perfect opportunity. You might say the juice isn't worth the squeeze on this one. However, this is putting you in front of the people that are going to be putting them in front of the people. So you really have to weigh that one out. All right, the guys that you probably want, if you're looking for, and you're these companies, I would check out Makefield Putters. They're the ones that have probably did that. They're that David Goliath kind of thing. They've been here 3 years in a row that I'm aware of, and if they keep coming, it must be worth it. And they're not the world's largest putter maker either. So let's go for that one. All right, so we made it all the way around, and you got to see it. I got to meet Chris Voshall. He was back out there. I met some other good friends that this is one of the reasons why we go, to go reconnect with some of these people. Saw a lot of folks, got stopped by a few of the channel followers, which is always very cool. And we went around once, and we were done for the day. So we're going to combine this one. The demo day piece should be very, very small. But day one, let's go talk about day one. So we're here on day one, and day one's the opening day. It's always going to be the most packed, and it's a lot of fun to see everybody shoulder to shoulder. You ought to watch trying to get in here. All right, so the very first place we got to go is the Callaway booth. Of course, I'm associated with Callaway, and my good friend Michael Verska is in there, and he is charge of operations. And we're just going to give you a snippet because we're going to do a review of all these golf clubs. And I wanted to show you, this is an exciting time for Callaway as far as I'm concerned. Last year was kind of a dip. I think that this one here is going to be, this is an exciting new model. So let's see what he has to. All right, here we are, PGA Show 2025, very first stop. Good friend, Michael Verska. Long history, we go way back a little bit.
We do, many years.
And he is now the grand poobah of everything in Callaway as far as I'm concerned. And we're gonna go quick overview of what makes the elite and what's going to make in the driver and in the irons.
Well, thanks, Jim. It's a little bit of a broad for my title, but I do appreciate it. Yeah, so we're really excited what Elite's going to bring this year. We've already seen a lot of tour adoption, getting great feedback from fitters like yourself who've had the chance to hit it. One of the main things, it really starts with this thermo forged carbon crown. This is the first, only one of its kind. Provides us strength and weight and density that lets us do some things like never before. From a connection piece, it's very technical, so you get in the weeds pretty quick, but what it really allowed us to do is do aerodynamics. We have some new technology from rapid prototyping standpoint that goes along with it, so we could really dial in the aerodynamics. So one of the big features people are going to see is more club head speed. And that really is something we're proud of, the shaping of it. And again, it's because of aerodynamics, all of our testing, but what allows all of that to happen and still get the low spin, the fast speed, is that thermoforged carbon crown.
Okay.
All the connection pieces to really get into it. So
Very good.
really the aerodynamics is big. And the other thing that's really important is this, what we call 10x AI phase. So we've continued to refine our AI design, the number of data points going in it, how we control smaller sections on the face. So from a spin robustness, a speed robustness, and really dispersion downrange. As you know this, we were actually talking about it earlier, fitting isn't just about how far you can hit it. Now, people talk about drivers, and drivers might be the one, but one of the things that I've been talking to a lot of fitters like yourself is delete fewer shots in 2025. Too many times people hit 10 shots in the bay and they only compare the best 4 or 5. Well, a golf course, you got to use all 10 of those.
Right.
And that's one of the things that's great about Elite. Not only is it fast, it is super forgiving. And in different ways, because of the face, because of the way we can move mass around. This happens to be Elite X. We have a new, what we call APW, adjustable perimeter weighting. You can put it on the core model, the Elite model, in 3 different positions, center and heel in the Elite X. So it really is dialing in speed and that dispersion. So again, when you're getting fit, when you're testing these, delete fewer shots. Count them all.
All right, so now we get to walk around the show, and I'm going to show you a bunch of the pictures over here. And there's some really cool stuff to be seen. Different manufacturers, all that kind of stuff. I will say this. Well, let's just see first, and I'll tell you in a minute. Okay, and this time around, I tried to get outside my comfort zone and go to golf club companies I don't deal with. So the very first place I stopped was Ping. Ping was an incredibly enjoyable stop. I actually met a rep that was from Nebraska. Being a GBR myself, we sat down and we talked about golf clubs for quite a long time. And the lineup they've got, I don't see is going to explode, but Ping has always been very stoic. They've been they're the steady Eddie of all the groups and make some extraordinarily cool stuff. I think the surprise this year is going to be that G440 iron. Very forgiving, a little more compact. It's going to get a little bit more zing going off of there. I think it's always going to be there. Now, never ever count them out when it comes to the driver. That LST model is always a top performer. But yeah, it's going to be, and I just really enjoyed my visit with the Ping people. So let's take a look at some of their stuff. Okay, the next one I went into was Cobra. I gotta say that I was not, the same friendly vibe was just not there. I went in there and I asked and I said, hey, I'd like to know more about the Cobra stuff. And the guy turned around and reached and handed me a damn magazine book or their catalog and said, here, go, you can take a look at this. Like, doesn't anybody talk anymore? You know, I just gotta say it was completely disappointing because I think the technology they got with the 30,000 adjustments on their driver might actually have something to go. But if you can't talk to them, you can't talk about it, so we're done. All right, the last bit, our last stop on all of this, in between all the other stops, we stopped at Srixon. We stopped and we talked with a new guy, product manager at Srixon. Ton of fun. Same thing. We're not going to go. We're not going to go through the entire interview process, but we're going to get to the main point of it because, again, we are going to review it all. And I got to tell you, they didn't do it. There's nothing logarithmic in their jump of what's going on. However, the tweaks that they did were well needed. And so we're going to see that. Wow.
Yeah.
How's your day been going?
It's been good, busy. I think there's a good crowd in general.
Has it, everybody's worried about the downward trend stuff, and, I think maybe the weather had a little to do with it.
Sure.
But actually, this has been a pretty good crowd, right?
Yeah. I mean, compared to the last few years, I think it's been on the way up, honestly.
Yeah, I think just a little bit. Last year, they were kind of like, it was all gloom and doom, and they said, well, you know what? It wasn't really bad. And then now I'm looking at it today, and normally by noon or 2 o'clock, this place is a ghost town, and there it is.
Yeah.
We're still going strong.
Yeah, especially at our booth, a lot of excitement over the new stuff and people hanging around and wanting to experience it in person.
And I think that's a lot, right? There's only just so much you can do on a Zoom call or something like that, right? You get and let's face it, this is tactile, right? You gotta have this, right?
Yeah.
And go bash a few balls, and you're in pretty good shape. Alrighty, so. Here we go. Still day one. We're in the Srixon booth. Of course, you guys know I carry the product, and I'm a fitter for these guys. What we have here is Casey, a senior project manager, and he's going to basically take us through what all the improvements that Srixon and Cleveland have done to the product, so that it makes it want to jump in your bag.
All right.
There you go. How about that? All right. So let's get started. What do we got?
Yeah, I've got the 5, 7, and 4 irons here. So the biggest new technology we have throughout the lineup is iForge technology. So we've worked with our forging vendors to go even softer and even better feel on our irons. I think what this is most noticeable on is the 7 series this time around.
Okay.
So what we've applied here is a condensed forging technique. Essentially, we've added sort of a ribbing structure that we mash into the hosel of each iron to strengthen that part while using a softer material on the iron as a whole. So I got a question for you. You go softer on an iron, what's going to happen after a few rounds of play?
You're checking loss and lies.
Exactly. So that's what that technology is designed to do, is to strengthen the area that'll keep the product consistent, yet feel a little bit better across the face for that overall performance with this S15C material we have in the 7 series, along with a little bit more mass behind the ball with our pure frame adoption this generation to further improve that feel for a player who's really looking for it in that iron.
Now, does it change? I know there was a difference between pure frame and main frame.
Correct.
Where does it switch?
Yeah, so it switches from the 5 series on throughout the rest of the set. So the 5 series, 4 series, and the utility irons have that mix of channels milled into the back of the face for that maximum ball speed with our mainframe technology.
And that's where mainframe comes in.
Correct.
So we got combo sets that are available. We got good player's iron. We got a good middle of the road or above average player iron.
Yeah.
We got the guy that's just getting started player's iron. I guess you could say that, getting started player's iron. And now we've got a redesigned, really nice, retooled we'll call it utility iron, driving iron, whatever we want to call it, but it is a nice look.
Oh yeah, it's a beauty.
And then we got that. So now, some of the buzz, I've been talking with some of my other friends that do this, and they're like, you got to take a look at the driver.
Yes.
All right, so what's the big hype on the driver here, Casey?
Big hype, I would say, is 2 parts. Technology-wise, the newest innovation is this iFlex face technology.
iFlex face, all right,
yes.
What is that?
So this is going to be a thinner face design with a new material, CI72S, that is going to be maximizing your ball speed across the face and overall more distance is what everybody's looking for, right?
Right, that's 4 more yards.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So what is this whatever that face that you just rattled off a whole bunch of letters and numbers?
Sure. I mean, breaking it down, it's mainly a thinner face in the center for more ball speed with some of that mass moved elsewhere to make sure that you're getting maximum.
You got one. Awareness level is low. Okay, so we're good.
Maximum COR and distance across the face and across the overall design of the driver.
He's got it figured out.
Yeah. That's sorry, we got derailed a little bit.
It's all part and parcel of the gig, man. That's the reason why we're at a show. Right?
Yeah. Anyway, picking up where we were.
Yes.
iFlex technology is really going to thin that center of the face for that maximum COR, maximum ball speed, and also work all the way across the face to create better ball speed on mishits as well. So
that's what we want, the mishit factor, right?
For sure.
Okay.
And with these models, we've really focused on putting forgiveness into 3 models at different spin levels.
Okay, a few more places to stop so you can see, and we'll go from there. Okay, so that's demo day and day one, and day one's always packed. It's always very busy. You always get that. I always get kind of jived up because there's just so much going on. People are excited. You get to see all kinds of new stuff that's going on out there, and they're really revved up because it is a sharp drop when you get down to the end. So that was day one and the demo day. Stay tuned. We'll be releasing day two and part of day three shortly. So if you like what you saw, like, subscribe. Don't forget to join us on Mondays in our live stream, and we'll talk more about the same stuff. So as always, let's see your scores go low.